My fart smells and smart fellas. Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about a Roblox game called Visionary Squad. And Visionary Squad is a game that I've picked up recently, and I've really liked it, honestly. I'm going to open the video by saying that I really freaking liked the game. I thought it was awesome. It's basically, I don't know if you guys have ever played a game like Tower Battles Battlefront or like Tower Defense Simulator Battlefront or whatever. But basically what the games are about is that they're like tower defense games, but you're the tower, right? You're on the ground fighting all the enemies, like the Molten Boss in Tower Defense Simulator, or like the Fallens from Tower Defense Simulator, right? And this game, Visionary Squad, is kind of like that, but like on another level. Right, because what the thing with Visionary Squad is that your team will consist of 5 people, and 4 of those people will be on the ground. They will be like a tower of their choice, and they will be able to like fight the enemies and square up and try to survive and try to defend the main objective and whatever. And then one person is going to be the visionary, and the visionary's job is to farm up money and max out all the Visionites, which are like the little guys on the floor. Visionites are like the towers in the game, by the way. But yeah, the job of the Visionary is to like max out all the Visionites and then place down some reinforcements, like an automatic helicopter, or like an automatic barracks tower, or like an automatic heal tower that heals all the little guys on the ground, And yeah, it's a pretty fun game, and I found it to be really challenging, which I actually do like. One of the main selling points of the game is that it's really freaking difficult. Like, insane mode and like nightmare mode are like damn near impossible to beat in this game, right? Like, that's how fucking hard it is to beat some of the modes in this game. Like, the nightmare mode might as well be impossible. Like, only less than 100 people have ever beaten it, and this game has like millions of visits, so it's goddamn hard. But yeah, I really like that about the game. I really like the challenge, right? And I like the game overall. Like, I have one really big complaint about the game. But before I get to that big complaint, I have another slightly smaller complaint that I would like to talk about first, which is the visuals of the game. And now listen, I know that the developer team of this game is pretty small, and it takes it honestly takes a huge time to like create like super unique and cool models and enemies and units for your game. In fact, just creating the models for your new units and enemies takes about like half the development process in the game, right? But honestly, I don't really mind the visuals that much, because the gameplay of the game is really fun and it kind of makes up for it. But sometime in the distant future, like maybe within a year, I would just kind of like to see the game get a little glow up, and stuff like that. Just that it's like a little bit more pleasing to look at, but like it's still not a huge deal. It's not like the game is not really like an eyesore or anything. But I would still rather play a game that is both good and pretty to look at than a game that's just good. Even though the gameplay of the game being good is the main priority here. But yeah, the only again, I have like 2 complaints I want to go over, but I'm going to go over the less severe one first. And the less severe one is just about the tower balancing. And not specifically about any towers that I consider to be broken or OP, or that I consider to be like not powerful enough or whatever, but I just want to talk about like how towers function in this game. Because one thing that I've noticed about a lot of the towers in this game is that they either are really good at, or the one thing that I've noticed about the towers in this game is that they are all kind of mixed between being good at single target damage and being good at splash damage. Like, for example, Arrow, Sniper, Demo Man, pretty much any tower with a piercing projectile, any spawner tower, which I think there's only one off, it's only a lieutenant, but still. Like, 99% of the towers in this game, or I guess more like 90% of the towers in this game, are kind of a mix between being like really between being like in the middle of like single target damage and explosive damage. And one thing I've noticed about the game is that there aren't really a lot of towers that like are specifically good at single target damage or specifically good at splash damage, right? The only tower that I've seen that's like really good at single target damage that I can name off the top of my head is the Juggernaut, which is like a minigun tower, and that's kind of it. That's as far as specialized towers go. You know, Juggernaut is your single target damage tower, and that's kind of it. And enjoy, I guess. You know, so yeah, I would just kind of like to see either some towers be rebalanced or some new towers be added, which like are specifically good at splash damage or are specifically good at single target damage, and not a lot of these towers that are kind of like meandering in the middle. You know, I mean, obviously you have to have some towers that are kind of meandering in the middle. But, you know, I would just like to see more towers like specialized in being really good at single target or really good at splash. And my last real complaint that I have about the game is the farming problem, the economy problem, so to speak, with you know, the game. You know, because if you're the visionary in the game, it kind of really sucks to farm and get money. Because in my opinion, one of the most satisfying things about tower defense games is getting to see all your work and all your strategizing and all your planning pay off, you know. For example, in like Bloons Tower Defense 6, which is arguably the best and most popular tower defense game in the genre, with Bloons Tower Defense 6, for example, in Chimps mode, the first, like, I'd say the first 50, 60 waves are like relatively difficult in the game, right? But then you have like 20 to 30 waves in the middle after that, which are like where you have like everything you know, sorted out, and you're just seeing the fruits of your labor pay off. You know, you're seeing your towers absolutely shred everything, and you can lay back and see all your strategizing pay off. And obviously, in the end game, there are still a couple more hard waves, like for example wave 100, which is the final wave, is pretty hard. Wave 98 is pretty hard. Wave 76 or 77, I believe, with the big ceramic rush and like rainbow rush is pretty hard. But you know, for the most part, you just get to see your work pay off, you know, and then you kind of get to chill until like the last 10 waves or so, right? And I would kind of like to see that in Visionary Squad as well. I mean, you can disagree or agree with me on this point. Honestly, it's pretty subjective what I'm saying. But in my opinion, at least, this has been like one of the most satisfying parts of playing a TD game, and it just does not exist in Visionary Squad. Because in Visionary Squad, you will never have enough money to max out like everything that you want to max out, right? Like you will always be stuck in this cycle of trying to chase more money and waiting for just another wave to like max out one more reinforcement or one more barrack or one more vision, you know. Because originally in the early game, as a visionary, you'll probably be greeding a lot. You know, you'll probably be like placing down all your marketplaces and trying to max them out and stuff. And then once you max them out, you kind of just wait around to get enough money from them in order to max out your Visionites and place down your reinforcements. And like, unless you're running like the accountant, which is like the only class that generates money, and the money crate, which is the only ability that generates money, and the marketplace, which is the only reinforcement that generates money. Unless you run all three of those at the same time, you are never going to be able to max out everything that you want to max out. Because like there are 40 waves total in Visionary Squad in every mode, I think. I don't think there's a single mode with over 40 waves, but I could be wrong about that because I haven't played Insane or Nightmare mode yet, so I could be wrong. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, every mode has 40 waves. And at like wave 35, you will finally be done maxing out all your Visionites. And then you'll be able to focus on also maxing out all your reinforcements that are probably like level 2 or level 3 at this point, right? And you will be maxing those out all the way up until wave 40 with the final boss. And even at wave 40, you still might be missing like $10,000 to $15,000 to max out everything that you want to max out, right? And so what I would like to see in the game is just I would just like to see marketplaces buff just a little bit. And marketplaces are already kind of powerful as they are, because they're like the primary source of money in the game. But so I didn't really want to like max them out so that they're OP and that you never have to worry about money, right? But I just want to like buff them a little bit. And I don't want them to make more money necessarily. Maybe you could make them make more money and that will fix an issue. But what I would like to see is the price of them being nerfed a little bit, right? For example, like, I don't know, the final upgrade costs like $3,500, I think. So I would like it to see it nerfed from $3,500 to like $3,100. And like the upgrade before that being nerfed from like 2,500 to like 2,100, and then the upgrade before that being nerfed from like 1,500 to like 1,200, and then the upgrade before that being nerfed from 850 to 800, and the placement cost being nerfed from like 430 to 400, right? So I don't think that the prices of the marketplaces don't need to be nerfed like all that much, but just a little bit, because I find myself in a lot of situations where I'm like $100 to $200 away from like upgrading a marketplace and being able to max out the marketplace or buy like a vital upgrade. But I'm just like a little tiny bit of money away from it, and I just can't get it in time, and I just end up dying. So I would like to see the prices of marketplaces at least being nerfed by like $100 to $200, right? Maybe even $300 or $400 for like the last two levels, because the last two levels are fucking expensive, let me tell you. But yeah, that's really all I would like to see, And another thing that I would like to see done is there's this little hidden feature of Visionary Squad, which I had no idea even existed until like 3 or so days ago when I played with my friends. And the feature is basically that if you die in the game, if one of your Visionites die, your wave bonus that you get at the end of a wave will be will become smaller, right? So for example, at the end of the wave, you get a certain amount of cash. Even if you don't have any marketplaces or anything, or any money-making towers or anything, you get like a small amount of cash, right? You get like $200 or like $500 or something. But it turns out, if one of your Visionites dies, that amount gets dropped by like $50 per death, or something like that. It might not exactly be that, but it's pretty huge. And I would just like to see that feature completely erased from the game, okay? And I totally get why that feature is in place. It's in place so that the Visionary actually has to pay attention to their Visionites, and they don't just leave them alone to greed. But the thing about that is that not only does that feature shut down so many good strategies in this game, but like, if you're a good Visionary, you wouldn't want to ignore your Visionites anyway, right? Because the fucking enemies, the core feature of the game, the enemies, they already give you more than enough reasons to not just abandon all your Visionites. Because if your Visionites die, you fucking die, alright? So I just don't get the purpose of this mechanic, because it's like completely useless, because you can just not let them die anyway, because if the enemies fucking kill them and you're too busy like doing something else and ignoring them, then you lose as well. So I don't get it. I just don't get it. So I would just like to see that feature completely removed as well. And even if the prices of the marketplaces don't get nerfed, I would at least like to see that feature gone, because I've lost because of that feature to no fault of my own or my team entirely so many times. Just an indescribable amount of times. Like, I was on so many good runs, and I would be like $100 away from an upgrade, and I would just die. But yeah, I would just like to see a little, in Visionary Squad, I would just like to have a little period of time where I can just, have fun and like see the reap, see the fruits of my labor pay off. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I don't know, every game has like 40 waves, right? So I would like to see from wave 31 to 39, I would like to chill out, have everything maxed out, and, just watch everything pay off. Or like from maybe wave 35 to 39, right? I would just like to max everything out and see my hard work pay off and my strategizing and my farming and my distributing of cash in the early game, right? I would like to see it all pay off. And then obviously the last wave with the boss should still be hard because, the boss being like lame would be lame, you know what I'm saying? So the bosses should remain hard as they are. But like the waves leading up to the boss should be like a little bit more chiller, so that and you should get a little bit more money for those final waves because so that you can max everything out and just see everything pay off, your strategizing pay off. But yeah, that's really the only criticism I have of the game. I know I kind of drooled on about the criticisms a little too hard, but I still do love this game, and I'm still gonna continue playing it. And I can't wait to get into Insane Nightmare mode with my friends. I feel like I have a really truly special squad with me. And I'm just really excited to play with them every time, and I want to see through the end of this game with them. But yeah, I hope that a couple of those issues that I mentioned get fixed. And other than that, I think it's a great game. So if you guys are interested, you should still go play it. I'll leave the link in the description below, which I probably should have mentioned at the start of the video. But yeah, that's all. See ya, everybody. Goodbye.